तीन लोक गाए। मस्तक पे चंद्र आधा है, रूप तेरा साधा। मस्तक पे चंद्र आधा है, रूप तेरा साधा। आई है गंगाधारा देकर तेरी जताए। शिवनाथ तेरी महिमा, शिवनाथ तेरी महिमा। तारे गगन के गाए, नाचे धरा गगन तो झूमे दसों दिशाएं। शिवनाथ तेरी महिमा, जब तीन लोक गाए, जब तीन लोक गाए, जब तीन लोक गाए। ॐ नमः शिवाय, ॐ नमः शिवाय, शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय हर हर बोले नमः शिवाय। ब्रह्ममुरारिसुरार्चितलिङ्गं निर्मलभाषितशोभितलिङ्गं ब्रह्ममुरारिसुरार्चितलिङ्गं निर्मलभाषितशोभितलिङ्गं जन्मजदुःखविनाशकलिङ्गं जन्मजदुःखविनाशकलिङ्गं तत् प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत् प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं देवमुनि प्रवराजितलिङ्गं कामदहं करुणाकरलिङ्गं रावणदर्पविनाशकलिङ्गं तत् प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत् प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं सर्वसुगन्ध सुलेपितलिङ्गं बुद्धिविवर्धनकारणलिङ्गं सिद्धसुरासुरवन्दितलिङ्गं तत् प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत् प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं कनकमहामणिभूषितलिङ्गं पणिपतिवेष्टितशोभितलिङ्गं दक्षसूर्यार्घ्यविनाशकलिङ्गं तत् प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत् प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं कुङ्कुमचन्दन लेपितलिङ्गं पङ्कजहार सुशोभितलिङ्गं सञ्चितपापविनाशकलिङ्गं तत् प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत् प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं देवगणार्चितसेवितलिङ्गं भाविर्भक्तिभिरेव च लिङ्गं प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत् 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 प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम्
बोले गणपति भगवान की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। श्री राधा कृष्ण भगवान की जय। जगदम्बिका माता की जय। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। ओम तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। श्री राम राम रघुनंदन राम राम। श्री राम राम भरताग्रज राम राम। श्री राम राम रणकर कश राम राम। श्री राम राम शरणं भव राम राम। ओम अतुलित बलधामं हेमशैलाबदेहं दनुजवन कृशानुं ज्ञानिनामृगगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। प्रेम से बोलो गणपति भगवान की, पवन सुत हनुमान की, सिया भज रामचंद्र की जय। राधा कृष्ण भगवान की जय। गुरु महाराज की जय। वंदे गणपति विघ्न विनाशन। ब्यूटीफुल भजन तो भगवान गणेश। हे लंबोदर गजानना वंदे गणपति विघ्न विनाशन। हे लंबोदर गजानना वंदे गणपति विघ्न विनाशन। हे लंबोदर गजानना वंदे गणपति विघ्न विनाशन। हे लंबोदर गजानना रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता तुम हो। रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता तुम हो। हे शशि शेखर नंदना। हे शशि शेखर नंदना वंदे गणपति विघ्न विनाशन। हे लंबोदर गजानना वंदे
गणपति विघ्न विनाशन।
हे लंबोदर
गजानना
जो ध्यावे वांछित फल पावे। जो ध्यावे वांछित फल पावे। अग्रदेव तुम्हें वंदना। अग्रदेव तुम्हें वंदना। वंदे गणपति
विघ्न विनाशन।
हे लंबोदर गजानना वंदे गणपति विघ्न विनाशन।
हे गजानना
काम क्रोध मद लोभ आदि हरो। काम क्रोध मद लोभ आदि हरो। निर्विकार निर्मल मना। निर्विकार निर्मल मना वंदे गणपति विघ्न विनाशन। हे लंबोदर गजानना वंदे गणपति
विघ्न विनाशन।
हे लंबोदर
गजानना
ओ विघ्नेश्वर 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 गजानना।
विघ्नेश्वर
हे विघ्नेश्वर
विघ्नेश्वर गजानना।
विघ्नेश्वर 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 गजानना। विघ्नेश्वर 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 गजानना। विघ्नेश्वर 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 गजानना। विघ्नेश्वर
विघ्नेश्वर विघ्नेश्वर गजानना।
ओ विघ्नेश्वर 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 गजानना। गजानना विघ्नेश्वर गजानना विघ्नेश्वर गजानना बोले विघ्नेश्वर भगवान की जय. Bhagavan Ganesha is the son of Lord Shiva, and there isn't a thing in life that we can do without getting his permission. He was given this vardhan, this blessing, that before we start any ritual, any puja, any activity, Ganpati must be invoked. And that is why we say Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. Gam Ganapataye Namah. Gam is a word, if you don't know the meaning, forget about the meaning. But when you say the word by itself, Om Gam, Gam, it really creates a bit of a vibration in you. And the purpose of that is to drive away any fear or any form of lower energies, negative energies from your life. Srim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye Varavarada Sarva Janame Vashamanayah Swaha. Srim Hrim Klim Glaum Gam Ganapataye. This beautiful chanting to Ganapati, any mantra that you know to Ganapati Bhagwan, what happens when you chant it, no matter what mood you're in, you know, the Lord will not, I wouldn't say he would not, but you can't expect God to come and physically remove these things from your path. But he creates an environment. He creates a mental ability, physically as well, for you to do that. We ask God, Prabhu, why can't you come and help us? Then God says he has abilities in the blessings he has given to us. He has the confidence in the abilities that he has given to us. Ganapati Bhagavan is that Devata, of that son of Shiva, who we pray and we ask Bhagavan, arm us with the necessary things so that we can use these abilities to overcome all challenges in this life. On this day, I believe the 17th day of Shravan, I'd like to welcome all of you to the temple on a Karibana long weekend, and I ask that Hanumanji and Bhagwan Ganesha, Shivji Bhagwan bless all of you in abundance. And on a long weekend in Canada, where many people could be anywhere else, but you're here in person. It speaks volumes. And to those as well online, we still have quite a few people online who are logging in from wherever they do log in from. God bless all of you. And we look forward to spending an evening of bliss with you here this evening. We started off with this Ganesh Vandana, and now let us sing the praises to Bhagwan Sri Ram. Ramji Bhagwan, today is Saturday. And what happens on a Saturday? We are forced to think about Hanumanji. Saturday brings the Lord to us in a very unusual way. It brings the Lord in a very, beautiful way, that is Hanumanji Maharaj. Let us not forget where he gets his fuel from, and that is by saying Jai Shri Ram, by invoking the name of Bhagwan Ram. Shall we do that this evening? Bole Siyapati Ramchandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Shri Ram Ram Raghunandan Ram Rama. Shri Ram Ram Bharata Graj Ram Rama. Shri Ram Ram Rankar Kash Ram Rama. Shri Ram Ram Sharanam Bhav Ram Rama. Prema Mudita Man se kaho Ram Ram Ram. Shri Ram Ram Ram. Shri Ram Ram Ram. प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम. राम राम राम. श्री राम राम राम. प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम Ram Ram Ram, Shri Ram Ram Ram. पाप कटे दुख मिटे लेत राम नाम, पाप कटे दुख मिटे लेत राम नाम, भव समुद्र सुख धनाव एक राम नाम, भव समुद्र सुख धनाव एक राम नाम। बोलो प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो
राम राम राम,
ओ राम राम राम, श्री राम।
राम राम,
परम शांति सुख निधान नित्य राम नाम, परम शांति सुख निधान नित्य राम नाम, निराधार को आधार एक राम नाम, निराधार को आधार एक राम नाम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो
राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम।
परम गोप्य परम इष्ट मंत्र राम नाम, परम गोप्य परम इष्ट मंत्र राम नाम, संत हृदय सदा वसत एक राम नाम, संत हृदय सदा वसत एक राम नाम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो
राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम।
मात पिता बंधु सखा सब ही राम नाम, मात पिता बंधु सखा सब ही राम नाम, भक्त जनन जीवन धन एक राम नाम, भक्त जन जीवन धन एक राम नाम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम। बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम, ओ बोलो राम राम राम,
बोलो राम राम
बोलो राम राम
राम,
राम।
बोलो राम राम राम।
सीता राम राम राम, सीता राम राम राम, सीता राम राम राम, राम राम राम, सीता राम राम राम। बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम। ओ सीता राम राम राम, सीता राम राम, ओ सीता राम राम राम, सीता राम। बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम राम, ओ बोलो राम राम राम, बोलो राम। सीता राम राम राम, सीता सीता राम राम राम, सीता राम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम। प्रेम मुदित मन से कहो
राम राम राम, राम राम राम, श्री राम राम राम।
ओ श्री राम राम राम, 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 श्री। Now let us be prepared to reveal the form of Bhagwan Shiva this evening. And it's a very simple, but you know, when you say simple for him, it means whatever you put on him, he adds beauty to everything. A flower by itself has no beauty, but when you put the flower on him, flower looks so beautiful. This is Mahadev Bhagwan, and so we welcome him this evening into your hearts. People online and in the temple are thirsty to always see what darshan we're going to give them. We bring you this beautiful darshan of Mahadev Bhagwan. Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya Om Shivaya Hari
Om Shivaya, Om Shivaya, Hari Om.
Everybody please stand. Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya Shambho.
Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya, Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya
Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya
Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Hari Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya
Hari Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Hari Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya
Hari Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya Om Shivaya Hari
Om Shivaya, Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya
Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya. Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya
Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya
Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Hari Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya
Hari Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Hari Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya
Hari Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya
Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya. Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya
Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya. Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya
Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya
Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Hari Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya
Hari Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Hari Om Shivaya Hari Om Shivaya
Hari Om Shivaya, Hari Om Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah शिवाय
Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om
Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om. बोले मापति महादेव की जय. Vrinda, sing a bhajan. Everybody, please be seated. How does Bhagwan Shiv Ji look this evening? Very nice. Very, very nice.
चीर के जाते बोले अपने, चीर के जाते बोले अपने, पवन पुत्र हनुमान, बोलो पवन पुत्र हनुमान, मेरे मन में बसे है राम, मेरे तन में बसे है राम, मेरे मन में बसे है राम, मेरे तन में बसे है राम। चीर के जाते बोले अपने, चीर के जाते बोले अपने, पवन पुत्र हनुमान, बोलो पवन पुत्र हनुमान, मेरे मन में बसे है राम, मेरे तन में बसे है राम। सीता हरण किया रावण ने, प्रभु जी थे अकुलाए, हनुमान ने सीता जी को प्रभु संदेश सुनाए, हनुमान जी करते आए, हनुमान जी करते आए, प्रभु जी के गुणगान, बोलो पवन पुत्र हनुमान, मेरे मन में बसे है राम, मेरे तन में बसे है राम, मेरे मन लक्ष्मण जी को शक्ति देख प्रभु घबराए। भोर से पहले हनुमान जी दौला गिरने आए। उठ बैठे लक्ष्मण जी लेकर, उठ बैठे लक्ष्मण जी लेकर श्री राम का नाम। बोलो पवन पुत्र हनुमान, मेरे मन में बसे है राम, मेरे तन में बसे है राम, मेरे मन में बसे है राम, मेरे तन में बसे है राम। चीर की छाती बोले अपनी, चीर की छाती बोले अपनी, पवन पुत्र हनुमान। बोलो पवन पुत्र हनुमान, मेरे मन में बसे है राम, मेरे तन में बसे है राम, मेरे मन में बसे है राम, मेरे तन में बसे है राम, मेरे तन में बसे है राम, मेरे तन में बसे है राम।
Om. Let us chant now as we begin our katha, the oldest song on the planet, most powerful song on the planet, and the most popular song on the planet. Which is that? Everybody shout. Jai Shri Ram, Hanuman Ji Chalisa. Oldest, most popular, and most powerful. All them songs that written in Bollywood, 50, 60, 40. Even the one I write last year, forget already. Because they all sung the same. Hanuman Ji Chalisa, never forgotten, always powerful. No matter where you are, you call upon him, he will always come with you. Bole Pawan Sut Hanuman ki jai. Welcome to our 17th consecutive day. 17th consecutive day. We are in our third week of Shravan. We're here until August 18th. A blessing to be among all of you, and a blessing to always see you every night online and in the temple. Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raj, Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raj, Nij Man Mukur Sudhar, Barno Raghubar Bimal Jasu, जोदायक फलचारी, बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके, सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहो मोहि, हर हो क्लेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। राम दूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नाम। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमट निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन वरण विराज सुवेशा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे, कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक
जरावे,
भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे, लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुवीर हर्ष उर लाए, रघुपति की नहीं बहुत बढ़ाई, तुम मम प्रिया भरत संभाई, सहस दरन तुम्हरो यश गावे, अस कही श्रीपति कंठ लगावे, सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा, यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कही सके कहाते, तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा, राम मिलाए राज पर दीन्हा, तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना, युग सहस्र योजन पर भान, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल, प्रभु मुद्रिका मिली मुख माही, जल दिलांगी गए दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हारे तेते, राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न ज्ञान सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी शरण, तुम रक्षक काहू डरना, आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे, तीनों लोक हाथ पे कांपे, भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे, नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा, संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान डोलावे, सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, जिनके काज सकल तुम साजा, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, तासु अमित जीवन फल पावे, चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्धि जगत उजियारा, साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे, अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता, राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा, तुम्हारे भजन राम को भावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे, अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई, और देवता चित्त न डरहि, हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि, संकट कटे मीटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलवीरा, जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई,
शत बार पाठ कर को, जूत है बंदी मां सुख हो,
जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा, तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महादेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महादेरा, पवन तनय संकट हरण, मंगल मूर्ति रूप, राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय में बसहूँ सुरभूप सिया भज रामचंद्र की, पवन सुत हनुमान की, उमापति महादेव की, जगदम्बिका माता की, राधा कृष्ण भगवान की। नमः पार्वती पतये, हर 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 महादेव शंभो। Roth, everybody know Roth? Roth darshan. It's a very beautiful, simple darshan, and what it means, we cook Roth from our homes, and I want to thank all the devotees who brought Roth this evening. Given that it's not Hanuman Jayanti, it's always pleasant to see Roth in the temple. The only problem is if you're sitting where I am sitting, it's a whole different, because, it's all, it seems like the wind is always blowing this way when there's an agarbatti, when there are flowers, and when there is a Roth. But never mind. They look so pretty. And Bholenath Bhagwan, we give him the Roth darshan this evening. Roth is a Hindu tradition. You don't see it in all parts of the world. In the West Indies, you will see it. And in India, not every part you will see it. Only some parts of India. Not all parts. You'll see it very, very little parts in India. Just like our food, like aloo choka, katahar, and all those kind of things. You will not see it in every part of India, although it came from there. But you go to Bihari, the Bihari people, you will see all our food there. And so Roth is a big part of Hanumanji's, prasad. And today we decide to give Bhagwan Bholenath Roth darshan. I told you before, no matter what it is, flowers, sit it by itself or together, you put it on the floor, people will just walk it and say flower on the floor. But you put it on deity, you put it on the Lord, He adds value to it. It's like a diamond. You take out a diamond ring or a piece of diamond by itself and you put it on a table. I've never done that, but I will assume that people wouldn't pay attention to it. You wouldn't even recognize it. But you put it on a ring and it goes on the finger. Everybody wants to see it and touch it. This is God. God adds value to all of our lives. Us by ourselves, we are powerless. Us by ourselves, we are powerless. You look at the waves. The Bhagavad Puran tells us, Jal mein tarang hai ya tarang mein jal hai. Is there, if you look at the waves in the ocean, you say, what powerful waves, wow. But if you take a bucket of, you dip some of the wave and you bring out on the shore, it's sitting in a bucket. Powerless. It cannot do you anything. Unless, of course, you want it to do you something. It sits there powerless, harmless. But the minute you take it and put it back with its source, with the ocean, it regains its power. All of us are disciples and children of the divine. And although we are powerful in our own little way, we are powerless. But when we become in contact with Mahadev Bhagwan, when we be in contact with Pavanasuta Hanuman, imagine if he's flying and you hold on to him, you fly too. Imagine if he's singing and you're sitting beside him, you sing too. Imagine if he is chanting Jai Sri Ram and you're sitting beside him, you sing Sri Ram too. Imagine when you sit beside a blacksmith. When you sit beside a blacksmith and he's doing what he's doing, you get the remnants of the blacksmith. You become black. Right? But imagine when you sit beside a goldsmith. What happened? You turn gold. Right? You turn gold. Similarly, association with our Lord gives us meaning. Without Him, we are meaningless. We think that we are adding value or we are meaningful in life because we do little things. But without association with Him, without association with good people, and without association with satsang, we are very little. Bina satsang vivek na hoi, Ram kripa binu sulabhan soi. बिना सत्संग विवेक न होई, राम कृपा बिनु सुलभ न सोई। सत्संगत मुद मंगल मूला, सोई फल सिद्धि सब साधन भूला। सत्संगत मुद मंगल मूला, सोई फल सिद्धि सब साधन भूला। बिना सत्संग विवेक न होई। God is there to purify us. But then we say, Panditji, we cannot see this God. All of us cannot go and lay down beside Him or lay down on top of Him, to add beauty to our lives or to add value. So where is this Prabhu? How can we get value in our lives? How can we get value? The Lord says, well, a few things. One is through the medium of satsang. Through the medium of satsang. A few of us here today, I don't know about you, but whenever I am in satsang, I am in heaven. Large or little. As long as I am able to sing a little bhajan, I am able to chant a few mantras, or whatever permission the Lord has given me to do in His name, the amount of joy it brings me, it cannot be described, right? Indescribable. But everybody feel happy different ways. A whole bunch of people feeling happy today with doing different things. Fine. Right, Lord, proudly million plus people finding, fun. I'm not saying that anything is bad. I'm just saying we all find different ways to be happy. Ram Bhagavan says in the Ramcharitmanas, second most popular chaupai, Bina satsanga viveka na hoi, Ram kripa bina sulabha na soi. While the Lord cannot come, while the Lord will not come to physically take you out and sit with you and add value to yourself, He said, I have sent satsang for you. What is this satsang? When we all can sit in company and we can sing and we can chant and we can, preserve the truth. Satsang, an association of truthful people. Why is it important to be truthful in life? क्योंकि सत्य बराबर तप नहीं, झूठ बराबर पाप, जाके हृदय सत्य है, वाके हृदय आप. Satya barabar tap nahi. There is no penance on this earth as great as truth. And jhoot barabar pap. There is no sin on this earth as worse as speaking a lie or living a life of lie. Jaake hridaya satya hai. In whose heart there is truth, there will always be God. There will always be God. There are sometimes, when you sit beside somebody or you sit among somebody, feel uplifted. They don't have to say anything. I'm telling you, I've experienced this thing. There are certain personalities, certain people, not personalities, on this earth, local people, and so on. You sit beside them, a few elevated people, you feel aura of elevation, feel vibration. Because their life is dedicated to sattvic activities. They do good things, they speak good things, they think good things. So what will happen? Your body will generate an aura of pure bliss, an aura of pure bliss. When you sit beside them, naturally you will feel their energy, you will feel their aura, because they think, they speak, they do all good things. And also, when you sit by some people, you want to know if something is pulling you down, because the aura is not good, the energy is not good. Right? How do you know if you're going to some place and it's going to be a good experience or not? How do you know? How do you know coming to Mandir will be a good experience or not? Ask me if somebody wants to fly me downtown today for free. And I fly for free, take you VIP access to whatever you want. The minute I close my eyes and I think about it, I say, nah, Baba. Because my body is going to tell me or drive me in a certain way that is not going to be pleasant. Remember, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that's me. Right? Somebody else will close their eyes and say, heaven, right away. I will go. Right? When you walk in a room, walk in a place, you know right away whether you belong there or you don't belong there, if your energy is not synergized, don't waste your time. Don't show your face, right? Don't show your face. While God adds value to our life, we can add value to our life in satsang. Satsang, Ram Kripa Bilo Sulabhana Soy. Without satsang, the Kripa of Bhagwan Ram is not possible. Today's Saturday, we're going to focus on Ramji a little bit and Hanumanji Maharaj. And so this was Hanumanji Maharaj. Whoever he met, Ramji Bhagwan, whoever he blessed, whoever they associated with, if it was the demons even, whenever Hanumanji left a demon, Simhika, Lankini, Surasa, and you hear about Kalnemi today, whenever he left them, all of them were demons, they were left in a better state than they were when he met them. You must do the same. All of us people in the temple, online and everywhere else, we must all do the same. When you meet somebody, you must leave them in a better state than they were. And if you can't, then don't do anything to them. Don't do anything to them. This is the virtue, this is what we'll talk about today. How Hanumanji, through being a servant of the Lord, he has allowed us all to, of course, be in touch with him. A beautiful darshan. Welcome again to everybody. And I hope all of you are having a blessed, blessed evening. We're going to go to Lanka Khan this evening. And we're going to sing the praises of Hanumanji Maharaj in Lanka Khan. But before we do that, let us tune up a little bit now. Uski shobha hai Vishnu mein, uski shobha. A few of us have had a very tiring day, a long day. Auntie Kamal, tiring day, but you're still here. Long day, but we're still here. But that's what's going to make it very beautiful. This is how we wash down our day. Uski shobha hai Vishnu mein, uski shobha hai Vishnu mein. O bole bole Hanuman, bolo bhakto siya Ram, Shri Ram ke चरणों में बनके बिगड़े काम. बोले बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्तों सिया राम, श्री राम के चरणों में बनके बिगड़े काम. बोले बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्तों सिया राम. बोले बजरंगबली की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय. उसकी शोभा है विष्णु में, उसकी शोभा है मोहन से, उसकी शोभा है विष्णु में, उसकी शोभा है मोहन से. तुलसी ने जब शीश झुकाया, धनुष बनी कान्हा की बंसी. राम ही माया राम ही जाने, कर कर में श्री राम. बोले बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्तों सिया राम, श्री राम के चरणों में बनके बिगड़े काम. बोले बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्तों सिया राम. बोले बजरंगबली भगवान की जय हो. लिपत लिपत के राम चरण ने, आँखों में गंगा जल भर ले. लिपत लिपत के राम चरण ने, आँखों में गंगा जल भर ले. श्री राम के क्षमाशील है, पापों को स्वीकार तू कर ले. श्री राम के चमल कम जैसे बैकुंठ की धाम. बोले बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्त सिया राम, श्री राम के चरणों में बनके बिगड़े काम. बोले बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्तों सिया राम. बोले बजरंगबली भगवान की जय. बोल बोल तू राम रमैया, जीवन किरना मिलेगा भैया। बोल बोल तू राम रमैया, जीवन किरना मिलेगा भैया। दुनिया यो तुम जाल है मूरत, राम ही पार लगा दे नैया। राघव के चरणों में है तू पाएंगे श्री राम। बोले बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्तों सिया राम। श्री राम के चरणों में बन के बिगड़े काम। बोले बोले हनुमान, बोले भक्तों सिया राम। ओ बोले बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्तों सिया राम। श्री राम के चरणों में बन के बिगड़े काम। बोले बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्तों सिया राम। श्री राम के चरणों में बन के बिगड़े काम। बोले बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्तों सिया राम। बोलो बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्तों सिया राम। बोले बोले हनुमान, बोलो भक्तों सिया राम। बोले पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। Lanka Kand of the Ramayana is a Kand of war, or as Tulsidas call it, Yuddha Kand. Yuddha means war. The fight happened here, and in this beautiful chaupai that Ram, this beautiful chaupai, it tells us here about a scenario, what's going to happen. Ravan took a javelin, a long javelin, everybody know javelin, right? Or spear, and he threw it. They were all in battle. He took this javelin and he threw it like this. बीर घातनी चार सिसागी, तेज पुंज लक्ष्मण उर लागी। राम सिया राम, जय जय राम। राम सिया राम, जय जय राम। मूर्छा भई शक्ति के लागे, तब चली गई निकट भय त्यागे। राम सिया राम, जय जय राम। राम सिया राम, जय जय। ओ सुनी गिरिजा क्रोधानल जासु, चारे भुवन चार 10 आसु। राम सिया राम, जय जय राम। राम सिया राम, जय जय राम। ओ सक संग्राम जीति को ताही, से वही सुर नर अग जग जाही। राम सिया राम, जय जय राम। राम सिया राम, जय जय। ओ सिया राम, जय जय राम। सिया राम, जय जय राम। Now what happened here? Meghnad took his arrow, rather, threw it, a javelin, threw it on Lakshman. Lakshman is the brother of who? Ram Bhagwan. Very good. Want to make sure everybody is awake, and more so you know the basics of Ramayana. What happened? He threw the javelin on Lakshman. Lakshman was injured. He fell unconscious on the ground. When Lakshman fell unconscious on the ground, you know who Lakshman was? Lakshman was Sheshnaga. He's the incarnation of Sheshnaga. If you look at Bhagavan Vishnu lying on the bed of snakes, the 1,000-head snakes, the 1,000-head snakes is Sheshnaga. And it is written in the Puranas that Sheshnaga, on his head is this earth. Mother Earth is on the head of Sheshnag. So, and it is said as well in our Puranas that Sheshnag has the earth on his head, but the earth is at the size of a mustard seed on his head. So imagine, if the earth is on the head of Sheshnag, the 1,000-head snake, and the earth is like a mustard seed, imagine how big this guy is and how strong and heavy he is. He has come down in the form of Lakshman. When Lakshman fell unconscious on the ground with a javelin, Meghnad, the Rakshas, the demon, tried to lift him up, no? As our people try to heise him up. Anyway, no. Who can lift Sheshnag on whom the world rests upon? He could not even lift the arm of Lakshmana. Shivji Bhagavan was narrating this katha to Girija, to Parvati Mata. और शिव जी ने कहा था कि हे गिरिजे, सुनो जिन शेषनाग की क्रोधाग्नि 14 लोकों को तुरंग ही जला देती है, और देवता मनुष्य तथा समस्त स्थाव पर जंगम जिनकी सेवा करती है, उनको युद्ध में कौन जीते सकते हैं? शिव जी भगवान says, Girija, Parvati, that who can conquer him in battle, the fire of whose wrath would consume in a moment all the 14 spheres. The 14 spheres. What are the 14 spheres? Now, people will tell you all kind of things. I want you to be very careful with these things when you hear them as Hindus. There's 14 spheres, which means there's 7 levels up, 7 levels down. People will tell you that there is no heaven and there is no other place, that everything is on this earth. That is so, right? That is so. I ask you, how do you know there is a heaven and there is the Narak? Have you ever been there? No, I haven't been there. You've never been there too, hopefully, the other place. And all sorts of things, motivational speakers, even pundits will tell you, there is no heaven, there is no other place, there is here, right? That song's nice, it sounds fancy. Yeah, this guy is talking truth. Who got to learn about all this kind of things? All right? The Hindu scripture is a scientific scripture. It is not a made-up story. When we talk about Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha, Maha, Jana, Tapa, Satyam, we're talking about the 7 spheres above. They're called 7 levels of heavens. Right? So there is a heaven. Right? When anybody talk about that heaven is on this earth and all that, it's saying, right? Heaven is on this earth, of course. And make this your heaven. Because we want to go to a heaven that we've never seen, but we want to destroy this life to go to that heaven. There are 7 Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha, Maha, Jana, Tapa, Satyam. Right? The 7 levels. And below that there's Attal, Vittal, Pattal, the last one is Patal. Can't remember them in order. Attal, Vittal, Suttal, and the last one is Patal. You ever heard Patal? Narak. Patal means that thing. People go to. Patal is the lowest level. There are 7 levels of that too. Ramayana tells, the basic scripture tells you the 14 spheres. Garud Puran tells you when you die how the soul goes and the whole works. Yet, we do not put emphasis to learn or to listen or to digest the scriptures, but we settle for the base level explanations. You can't do that. The base level explanations is even pundits would do that stuff. Enjoy this heaven that we have, and so on like that. No, it's okay, that's fine. But for your knowledge, there's 14 spheres. And the Shivji tells Ma Parvati, this is Shivji, that who can lift him, whose wrath could consume the 14 spheres. That is Sheshnag. Who can lift him, right? He alone can understand this mystery, on whom descends the grace of Ram. Now, what happens? Lakshman was lying there unconscious. The only one who could have lifted him up from that battlefield and take him away was who? Tab lagile ayahi Hanumana. Hanumana. Tab lagile ayahi Hanumana. Anujade ki Prabhu ati dukh mana. This is interesting. A Rakshas sees Lakshman unconscious there. Rakshas means bad person. The Rakshas want to go lift him up and kill him. But the good devotee of God see an unconscious man. He wants to lift him up and save him. It's interesting. There's some people who is going to watch you in life and will watch you fall and will pray for you to fall. And there are some watching you fall and they say, here's my hand. Lift, no? I'll lift you up. I saw a quote on Facebook the other day. When somebody is watching you, they're not always admiring you. They are looking at you to see how you got out or they've planned to put you down. Please be careful. Be the Hanuman in life, that when you see someone unconscious or falling or whatever, maybe we don't have the means, but we are living in that part of the world where you can pick up the phone and make things happen. One, the Rakshas want to kill him when he unconscious, and the devotee of God want to lift him away. Well, guess what? Who will win? The devotee of God win. Hanumana tabala gilega yahi Hanumana anujade ki prabhu ati dukhamana. And who did he take him to? He took him to Ram Bhagwan. Ramji saw Lakshman injured and unconscious. And what did Ramji do? He held the brother. And he held the brother in his lap. The battle stopped. He held his brother in his lap. Jamavant now, one of the ministers who was commanding the army, sent that Sushane, as a particular physician, lives in Lanka. Who can we send to fetch him? Because the physician has to come and give him relief. Another question you're asking yourself here is that, how come an injured man is lying in the lap of God? How come an injured man is lying in the lap of God, but yet they need a doctor for him? How come they need a doctor for him? This is Ram Bhagwan, Sahasra Shirsha Purusha, Sahastraksha, Sahasrapad, Sabhumim Vishwato Vrittva, Titishta Dashamgulam, 1,000 head, 1,000 hands, 1,000 feet, 1,000 eyes, the Lord of all the cosmos, entire. How is it that he cannot heal his brother and the guy sent a doctor for him? Right? How? Everyone in this role, in this world, has a role. The medical professionals, they have a role. The priests, they have a role. God has a role. And if God is going to come take out every pimple that fall in your foot all the time, he's a busy guy, right? He's given us the ability and the skill to take care of ourselves. And when we can't anymore, then he steps in. They said, who's going to fetch Sushane? The physician, he lives in Lanka. So, what they say is, Hanuman, only one person can do it, you. Because when you move, you can take a tiny form and go and get him, nobody will know. Dhari lag roop gaye Hanumanta. Dhari lagi roop means a small form. Hanumanji became a small form and he escaped between all the demons. And he goes and he sees the home of Sushane. Nice big home because Ravan is keeping him secret. Hanumanji says, wait, if I knock on his door and wake him up and he see a monkey, he is going to want to know, what business do I have with a monkey? So what did he do, Hanumanji? Aaneo bhavan samet turanta. Hanumanji took his hands and he scooped up the entire house like this and the land and everything that he's living on, the doctor. Scoop it up like this, Hanumanji become Bhima Roop. And Hanumanji flew away with the doctor. Free flight, no visa. And he brought him, no visa, he brought him to Ram Bhagwan. It is said in Valmiki Ramayana, Hanumanji then knocked on the door of Sushane. Imagine the big Hanumanji and Sushane is in the house, on the land in his hand. When Sushane opened the doors and he saw the mighty big Hanumanji, Sushane says, what of a world? How can the world be transformed like this? I was serving the beast the other day, but now he who has burned down Lanka has come back. This is definitely a plan for me to meet my creator, Ram Bhagwan. Sushane came down. As Sushane came, Ram Dar Binda Sirunai Ai Gaye Sushane. The physician came and he bowed his head before Ram's lotus feet. And he says, Prabhu, Kahana Magiri Aushadhi. Aushad means medicine. Kahana Magiri Aushadhi. Giri means the mountain. He says on a certain mountain there is an aushad, a medicine. Jahu pavan sutalen. And someone should go and get that medicine for us. If you know the geography a little bit, South India is here, Lanka is here, and Nepal is here. Tip of India, north, freezing is Nepal, and we have Sri Lanka, which is the south. Hanumanji has to go from South India to Sri Lanka to Nepal. How is he going to go? Which flight is he going to book? Which flight is he going to book to get there overnight? He has to come back in time, otherwise the patient will die. This is the importance of medicine in our life. Medicine, you know, if you eat healthy and do well, you'll be okay. But anyways, you must all respect we have two medical professionals here tonight. Where are the kids? Huh? Oh, so you guys have a free evening. You see, they could have gone for a nice dinner, but they came here for Prabhu's grace. Good to see both of you. We have to respect the power of medicine in life. You got to come in time. It has to be administered properly. But who's going to do that? Only one can do that. Ram charan sir saj ur rakhi chala prabhanj sut bal bhashi jaha doot ek mar mujhanawa ravanu kal nemi griha ava das mukh kaha maram tehi suna पुनि पुनि काल नेमि सुरि धूप देखत तुम ही नगरु जेहि जारा तासु पंथ को रोकन पारा भजु रघुपति करु हित आपना छरेहु नाथ मृषा जल्पना नीलकंज तनु सुंदर श्यामा हृदय राकुलोचन अभिराम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जी के चरण कमल को हृदय में रखकर पवन पुत्र हनुमान जी अपना बल बखान कर चले। उधर एक दूत ने जाकर रावण को यह सारा भेद बता दिया। तब रावण कालनेमी के घर आया। रामचरण सरसिज उर राखी। They said, Hanuman ji, go and bring the medicine. Hanuman ji, right away. He didn't say why, when you want it, how much to bring. No question was asked. No question. Today, you tell anybody, your child, your children, your friend, your worker, whoever it is, to do something urgent, it will come with a list of questions. Rightfully so. Hanumanji, though, is the servant of the Lord. The servant of God asks no questions. The servant of God asks no question. The Lord sends a message. You have to have a whole month of Shravan here. No questions are asked. No questions are asked. Today, let me tell you, there are a lot of people who work very hard in this temple. A lot of people who work everybody who's associated with us work very hard because they don't get pay. They're all volunteers. And the decor team during this time, for about 30-something days, they work extremely hard. They leave here late in the night, 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11, they leave. Back here the next day, pick up stuff, all over they are. Today we have 2 of them only here. Right? 2. Because they're people, they have family, they have responsibilities, they have to have a life. But when the Lord sends a message that the work must be done, they don't ask questions, they do it. Everybody who works here, our treasurer, our secretary, our volunteers, our cleaners, our Panditji, me, everybody, even the devotees, the Lord says you got to be here this evening, no questions asked, you're here this evening. When the Lord's work has to be done, the Lord's work has to be done, because this is not our work. Hanumanji left, but when he left, Ram Charan Sarasij Urrakhi, he placed the feet of Lord Rama in his heart. And when you have God in your heart, what will happen? All tasks will be accomplished. All tasks will be accomplished when Bhagwan is in your heart, the Lord's feet. The younger people may ask, what does this mean? How can the feet of the Lord be in my heart? How is that even possible? Well, just like we enshrine an image of a friend or your parent or somebody in your heart that you can never forget. This is what I tell teenagers, because they're in that boyfriend-girlfriend phase. I said, all of you here, teenagers, wherever you are, all of you got something going on in your mind. So how can you have God in your heart? The same way you can have all these things in your heart. You're walking, but you're thinking of somebody else, or you're thinking about something. Replace that with God. How can we do that? Well, you've got to be engaged, right? You've got to be engaged to the Lord. You've got to be engaged with the work. The more you're engaged with something, the more it stays with you. The more it stays with you. Some people will go home from their work to their home in the evening, but they're still at work, right? You know why? Because we're so engaged with work, we're so passionate about it, or it's taking us down at a certain level that we take our work home. So you take your work in your heart instead. You're in a relationship and you take that person in your heart. Similarly, put God first. Ram Charan Sarasij Urrakhi Chala Prabhanja Nusut Balbhashi. He put Ramji's feet in his heart and he gone. When the Lord's feet is there, nothing is going to come. But, remember, every single thing in the Ramcharitmanas, if you've heard me say this already, every single thing that Hanumanji did for Ram, every single task, you name it, he was met with a wall. He was met with a blockage or blocker or whatever you call it. Every single thing he put his mind to do, there is something coming in his way. An ordinary being will say, forget about this. Every time I put my mind to do something, this got to happen. This not meant for me, right? The minute I left the house, a black cat ran across the road. I'm turning back, right? The minute I try to make one step, two steps backward. Y'all can relate to this, right? One step forward, two steps backward. Are bhai? That is what happened to good people. We will always struggle in life. Hanumanji, anything. You go Lanka, snake want eat him out. Simhika catch him, Lankini, catch him a bonny tail. Nothing stopped him. He could have just said, this ram work here is too much work, man. I'm going to burn my tail, that's the limit. I'm going to stop. Nothing stopped him. He's going now. So Ravan saw him going. Ravan knocks on the door of a demon by the name of Kalnemi. Ravanu Kalnemi Griha Avan. Kalnemi was a demon. Dashamukha kaha marumate hisuna puni puni Kalnemi siruduna. When Ravan told Kalnemi, I want you to go and distract that Hanuman. He's going to bring the medicine, block his way. Are bhai, what Kalnemi do? Puni puni Kalnemi suradhuna. Kalnemi took his hair and nakampana wal dhun siradhuna. He says, Ravan, is it the same one who came and burned down Lanka? Is that the one? He said, yes. Kalnemi says, no, I'm not going. Dekat tumahi nagaru jai jara tayu pantake rokana para. Here Ravan now, you either will die by him or you will die by me. Choose your demon. Kalnemi says, well, if Hanumanji is going to kill me, then let it be. He knows that what is going to happen, is going to be very disastrous for him. Then Ravan flew into a burning rage and he commanded Kalnemi. And Kalnemi says, well, I'm going to go. And I'm going to create an illusion for him when he comes. What happens? Marut sut deka sub ashram munhi brohi jal piya यहु जी शासम, राक्षस कपट बेश तह सोहा, मायापति दूत ही यह मोहा, जाई पवन सुत नायहु माता, लाग सो कहे राम गुण गाता, होत महारन रावण राम ही जित ही रामुना संशय यामहि, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, 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 श्री राम जय राम
जय जय राम।
Kalnemi went, and Kalnemi created an illusory pond. So Hanumanji is flying over now, and he saw this pond, and he saw Kalnemi dressed up in the form of a sage. And Kalnemi is chanting Ram, 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 Ram. Not everybody who sings God's name are God's devotees. Not everybody who sings God's name is God's devotee. Hanumanji saw him though. You think Hanumanji doesn't know? Hanumanji says, Are Prabhu, Jai Sri Ram. The Kalnemi was sitting there in disguise. He has a keen eye on Hanumanji. Kalnemi says, Jai Sri Ram. Here Hanumanji, Are Bhaiya, aap to Rama Bhakta hai? He says, yes. And he starts, the Kalnemi now, who's disguised as a Ram Bhakt. Hot Maharan Ravana Ramahi Jitahi Ramana Sanshaya. He started to praise Ramji's name. Hanumanji says, wow, my Prabhu's name is being praised by this, this person. You must be very great. Hanumanji says, Are Bhaiya, pani hai aapke paas? Do you have some water I can drink? He says, I have lots of water you can drink. Here Hanumanji, he says, but I am very, very thirsty. You have to give me a whole river of water to drink. Because Hanumanji's appetite. Hanumanji loves food. Well, is it that he loves food? You know the story of Hanumanji? I'm going to tell you a story within a story now. Remember Hanumanji Maharaj, when the war was finished and so? Hanumanji Maharaj went home, and Sita Mata told everybody. He says, everyone, you all leave the kitchen. Today I'm going to cook for my son. I'm going to cook for my son Hanumanji. Mata Sita is called Sita Rasoi. If you go to Ayodhya today, they have the place there where Sita Mata cooked for Hanumanji. It's called Sita Rasoi, Sita's kitchen. So she cooked for Hanumanji. Hanumanji come, lots of food. Lots of food for Hanumanji. All things were lined up there. Hanumanji felt very excited. Hanumanji says, Mata, koi baat nahi, bhojan laiye. Hanumanji started to eat. And Hanumanji is singing while he's eating and singing while he's eating, Eat and eat and eat. I shouldn't be talking about bhojan because I'm getting so hungry right now, but that's fine. Hanumanji is eating and eating and eating. And so Mata Sita is feeding him and feeding him and feeding him. And he's eating and eating and eating. And Mataji is feeding him and feeding him. Mata Sita got a little puzzled now. He said, Bhai, look, Hanumanji, eat out all my food. She put on another pot of rice, some dal and everything else. Cook more. Hanumanji eating, smiling. And he's not giving any signs that he's giving up. Sometimes you're sanding the rice, but you're like, yeah. Then you give some signs and the people say, okay, finishing up. Thank you, God. No sign. He's just eating and eating and eating. And what happened? Mata Sita said, Babre, what's going to happen? Cook another pot rice, more dal, more everything. Feed him, feed him, feed him, feed him. The entire kitchen finish. Cook the whole kitchen food. Hanumanji is eating. Now Hanumanji scrape up the plate, Make sure everything is done. Hanumanji make sure he does not waste food. Mata Sita said, Hanumanji, wapas aa raha ho 2 minutes mein. I'm going to come back in 2 minutes. You relax. Hanumanji said, Aram, rest. Are Prabhu, Ram kaaj keen hai mera, mohi kaha vishram. If the Lord's work is not done and my work is not done, I do not rest. Mata Sita, bring more food. माँ सीता रोन तो राम भगवान. माँ सीता ने कहा था कि राम प्रभु, हनुमान जी इतनी भूख है. He's so hungry. I didn't know he was this hungry. We don't have any food in the kitchen. I cooked everything out for him. Prabhu Ram, please give me one solution where I can feed him, where I can get more food. Ram ji Bhagwan, itke baat sunkar haskar, the Lord laughed and said, Sita, no one can satisfy Hanumanji's appetite. No one. Bhima Roop Dhari Asura Samhare. You want to fill him up with a kitchen full of food, he'll become Bhima Roop. He will become large, expansive as the skies, and try find food for that. You can put the oceans inside, you will never fill it. Don't try to cook 3 roth and 4 roth and 2.5 roth and all this kind of style that we have for Hanumanji. He doesn't like style. He has his own style. So Mata Sita says, what is the solution? Bhagwan Ram says, well, take 1 tulsi leaf. 1 tulsi leaf and put it in his food. And when you give it to him, say, Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram. Mata Sita, me cook out my whole kitchen done. I don't have food to give anymore. And you give me a little tulsi leaf and say, Jai Shri Ram. I'll try that. She placed it on a little bit of food. And she said, Hanuman, beta, lijiye bhojan. Jai Shri Ram. And he gave Hanuman the food. Hanuman ji here, Jai Shri Ram. Hanuman ji said, Are Mata, main bhook nahi hu abhi. I'm so full right now, I cannot even hear anything else or think about anything else. When I hear Ram's name, everything becomes pacified for me. His hunger is gone. Thirst is gone when he hears the name of Ram. Bole Siyapati Ramachandra Bhagavan ki. This is Hanumanji Maharaj. He hears this devotee now chanting Ram's name. He goes, Are wah, kya baat hai? So the devotee says, now Kalnemi, who is disguised, Kalnemi says, I will feed you an entire lake of water. Go in a certain lake there, you will see water. Drink as much as you want. Hanumanji gone to drink water. When Hanumanji reached there, what happens now? Hanumanji goes to drink water, and what happens? There is a crocodile there. A disguised crocodile wants to eat Hanumanji out. The devotee of God, remember, snake wanted to eat him out, Lankini wanted to eat him out, demon wanted to burn him, alligator wanted to eat him out now. When you're a good person and a devotee of the Lord, you will not be short of challenges in your life. You will never be short of it, because this path is a very difficult path to walk. Very difficult path to walk. And that is why we have to have faith. The requirement or the ingredient to being close to God is Shraddha, is faith. Without faith, we will be crushed. Without faith, we will not have a foundation in our life. Without faith, the rain will be a disaster in our life. Without faith, the sunshine will be a disaster in life. Without faith, a Friday will be a disaster in your life. Without faith, every single day will be a disaster in your life. If you do not have Shraddha, faith in you, if Ram's name is not a meaningful thing in your life, then my friends, we are up against something that we are not prepared for. We'll be up against something that we are not prepared for. Ram's name should bring joy. Satsang should bring joy and peace and comfort to our life. It should not be a painful thing. And that is why I said, was it yesterday or the other day, there are 2 kinds of people that have happiness, enjoy happiness. Some people that enjoy themselves and be happy, and some people that enjoy themselves and be happy. But those who enjoy themselves in satsang, that happiness is perennial. It never diminishes in your life. It never diminishes in your life. And when you find sadness, you go back to that source and he fills you up with that. What happens now? Hanumanji says, okay, he goes and the crocodile wants to eat him, but he rips the crocodile apart. And then when he rips the crocodile apart, my friends, this female crocodile who was there, the sight of you who monkey, Kalnemi now says, has cleansed me of my sins. Hanumanji appeared now in front of Kalnemi. You cheated me. You sent me to the crocodile. Kapitav darasa bhayu nihapapa mitatat munivar karashrapa. You know, when we go to certain places, let me give you a little tip. When you go to certain places, we go for darshan, right? One time I told somebody I'm going to Chitrakoot to get the darshan of Ram Bharacharya. पंडित जी आपने सुना राम भराचार्य कौन है? आप मालूम है कि राम भराचार्य कौन है? स्वामी राम भराचार्य? नहीं, वो Ram Bharacharya is a blind Swami. Blind Swami. He's born blind. But you know what happens? He is one of the foremost narrator of Ramji Katha in this planet right now. Swami Ram Bharacharya. He cannot see. You must look him up, all you get internet. No, though, afterwards. Ram Bharacharya, blind, he can't see. Oh, but when he reads Ram Katha, thousands and thousands and thousands of people will come. And you know how he read the Katha? How he read the Katha? You think you have anything in the ears? No. Everything is in here. Chaupai by chaupai by chaupai. When he reads Bhagavad Katha, shlokas by shlokas by shlokas, all inside here. I told somebody one day I'm going to Chitrakoot to get the darshan of Ram Bharacharya ji. Somebody asked me, Pandit ji, you mad? Why don't you go get the darshan of Ram ji Bhagwan? Because Chitrakoot ke ghat par bay santant ke bheer tulsidas chandan khise tilak de kar gubir. That is where in Chitrakoot is where Tulsidas ji plays the tilak on Ram ji Bhagwan. Very famous place for Ram ji. So I was going there. He lives in Chitrakoot. मैंने कहा था कि Chitrakoot जा रहे हैं. Ram Bharacharya ji का darshan चाहिए. A saint. To get the darshan of a devotee of God is very cleansing. A devotee of God. It is very cleansing. He's a very, very, very devoted man. And somebody says, it's best for you to have the darshan. I said, no. It's good to have the darshan of God. But the devotee of God, the pure devotee of God, by seeing them alone, your sins can be destroyed. What did the Kalnemi says? When Kalnemi saw Hanumanji now in his big form, the demon, Kapita vadarasa bhayu nihapapa mitata munivar karashrapa. हे बानर, मैं तुम्हारे दर्शन से निष्पाप हो गई है. निष्पाप हो गई. When I look at you, O monkey, O disciple of Ram, my sins are vanished. My sins are vanished. She said, nah? And now you have cleansed me of my sin, my friend. My curse has come to an end. That was a curse the female crocodile has. My curse will come to an end. You're looking to remove black magic and curses from your life. All people are doing that. There are signs all over. Brampton is known for his psychic, black magic removal, all this kind of thing. You want to remove black magic from your life, or what kind of a magic there is going on in your life? Just appear in front of him. Stand in front of him, and all the magic that is going on in your life will be vanished. I'm not talking about magic in a good sense. It will be vanished. Don't pay anybody to do this kind of nonsense. A devotee of God never does that. A person who sells God to you is a business person. I'm not saying business person are bad. But a person who sells God to you, come, I can give you a mantra to remove your black magic or whatever is on you, you got to be careful with them. Careful. But a sant, a sadhu, will give you it for free. You appear in front of Hanumanji and get his darshan. Whatever it is that's going on in our life, we'll find a way to deal with it. Right? And so what happens now? Hanumanji goes now, and what happens? He meets now the mountain where the orbs are. Saila langur lapet pachara nij tanu pragate si mati bara Ram Ram ke chorasi prana suni man harashi chale Hanumana देखा शैल औषधि चिन्ह सहसा कपि उपारि गिरि लीन गई गिरि निसिनभ धावत भयहु अवधपुरी ऊपर कपि गयहु परे मुरुचि महिलागत देखा भरत विशाल अति निश्चर मन अनुमानी बिनु फर सायक मारेऊ चाप श्रवण लगिता सियावर रामचंद्र पद जय शरणम. Hanumanji now sees the mountain, feels happy. He goes on the mountain now, and what is going to happen? He sees the mountain. He has to take the herbs. But there was no description given to him. There was nothing say that this is the brand of the herb, this is how it looks, this is how big it is, or this is how small it is. No description at all was given to Hanumanji. But Hanumanji is buddhihin tanujanike. Buddhihin. He has something called intelligence. I think if a lot of people settle with common sense, we'll be fine in this life. If we settle with common sense, we'll be fine in this life. But we are skipping common sense and we're running after intelligence. It's a very, very bad mix. It's not a good approach to skip common sense and pursue intelligence. Hanumanji, what happened to him now? He said, wait a minute. I have no description of this herb. He failed. Dekha sail na aushadha kinha. What does aushad mean? Medicine. Sahata kapi uparigil. He walked around, he couldn't find anything. So what did he do? Hanumanji, he bought the whole shop. He didn't know what brand of bread to bring home, or what type of honey to bring home, or what type of milk to bring home. So he bought the whole shop, and he's carrying it now. He can afford that. He can afford that. Dekha sail aushad hi chinha sahas kapi upar giri linha. Upar giri linha. He says, since I can't recognize which orb it is, I'll take the entire mountain. So he became Bhimarup, and he dug into the ground and he lifted the mountain. And he's going now, he's going. Gahi giri nisi nabh dhavat bhayahu avadpuri upar kapi gayahu. So here is Sri Lanka, here is Nepal. There's Nepal, he's flying over now. You know, today, if you go to Nepal, in that place, Pashupatinath, if you go to Pashupatinath, in that part of the world, you know, you gotta land with helicopters. So anyways, but when you land there, you see half mountain. You see half of a mountain, right? But if you go to Sri Lanka, which I have never gone to, I have to admit, but I've done the research to know, and I've heard from people who went there. If you go to Sri Lanka, you will see half of a mountain there. So in Nepal there's half, and in Sri Lanka there's half. Half and half make one. That is the half of the mountain that is missing in Nepal. It's actually in Sri Lanka. That's where he went. But what happened? This is Nepal. Sorry, this is Sri Lanka, this is Nepal. He's flying over now. What happened? Gaye Giri, and Ayodhya is in the middle here. Gaye Giri nisi nabhadavat bhayahu avadpuri. Avadpuri, Ayodhya. Avadhapuri upar kapi gayahu. When he reached Ayodhya, imagine the mountain. Hanumanji was so big. Bharata, the brother of Ram Bhagwan, looked up and he saw the dark cloud moving in the direction of where his brother was. Bharat jivati dekha Bharat visal api. Bharat, after seeing that, Bharat took out an arrow. He took out an arrow and he took out the tip of the arrow. Dekha Bharat visal api nischaram man anumani. He said, this got to be a demon going in the way of my brother, dark cloud. Binu farsayak mare ho shrap Shravan lagitani. And he discharged a blunt, a headless arrow to Hanumanji. I think hit Hanumanji like this. Are bhai, when he fell on the ground, when Allah is stomp with toe outside, what do you say? Please don't repeat it here. Pareo murichi man lagat sayak. What did Hanumanji fell on the ground? Sumirat Ram Ram Raghunayak. When he fell on the ground, he says Ram Ram Ram. When he fell on the ground, Ram Ram Ram. When he fell, Are bhai, the man was flying. When he's flying, he's chanting Ram's name. And when he's falling, he chants Ram's name. And when he fell on the ground, he chanted Ram's name. This is a devotee that we must admire. When you're flying high in the skies, chant the name of Ram. That means when you're happy. When you're happy, chant the name of Ram, clap your hands. When you're falling, chant his name too. And when you fell on the ground and your bottom, chant his name too. And if you chant his name at all three stages, when you're flying, when you're falling, and when you fell, then and only then you should tell yourself that you have faith in the Lord. Not when you're flying high, me God, me Shivji Bhakta, this kind of thing, and there's something wrong with you, and like, Shivji not God, he's stone-hearted. How can he do this to me? How can he? I've been hearing this for 30 years in my life. My first funeral I did is when I was 14 years in Guyana. So 30 plus 14 equal 44. I hope you're not doing the finger counting to figure out how old I am. 14 years I was when I did my first funeral in Guyana. And I've seen at almost every funeral, not all, where people question their faith. Why would God take away my child? Why would God take away my husband, my wife, my family? Death is a very painful experience. Don't get me wrong. Death is a very dark experience. I've gone through it so many times in my life. So many times. 3 months after I was married, father passed away. 3 months after, passed away. Went back to do his 1-year work. As soon as the 1-year work is done, mother passed away. When her 1-year work was done, big brother passed away. Right? Big brother passed away. 2 years ago, went back on my vacation in Guyana. While I was in vacation in Guyana, Big David passed away. I had to do his funeral instead of a vacation. I can go and tell all the gods a whole bunch of things. How can you do this to me? Of all person who's serving you, who brings a community, who pray to sadhana, I can tell them a lot of stuff. But no, I am a Shiva Bhakta. I am a devotee of Mahadev. I am a devotee of Durga. And whatever comes in my life, I'm prepared to embrace it. And I'm prepared to embrace it in a very strong, forceful way. Good or bad, people or not, doesn't matter. Because that's when you know you are truly a disciple of the Lord. When you're flying, if you're falling, and if you're fallen, and you still say Ram at all three phases, know that you're in a good place in life. Know that you're in a good place in life. Pariyo murachi manalagatna kapi Rama Rama Raghunayak. When he fell on the earth and he's in pain, and Bharat see him still chanting Ram Ram. Now, I'm sure you're wondering in your mind right now, what are you wondering right now? Tell me. Let's talk. What are you wondering right now? Exactly. What happened to the mountain? If he's flying with the mountain like this, holding it like this, and Bharat shot him, and Hanumanji fell, what happened to the mountain? That's pretty good, right? What happened to the mountain? Did the mountain fall on him? Did the mountain fall on the side? No. He kept the mountain in the air, and he fell. Valmiki ji tells us when he fell, his father, Vayudeva, the wind god, kept the mountain in the air. Amen? He didn't lose his focus. He kept the mountain in the air, and he fell. but the mountain did not fall. Which means the devotee may fall sometimes, but the cause, the work of the Lord, it will never fall. The mountain was in the air. Bharat hears that Hanumanji, this is Ram, Bharat go, Hanumanji in pain. उन्होंने हनुमान जी को बिकल देखकर हनुमान जी इन पेन हृदय से लगा लिया. भरत जी ने उन्होंने बहुत तरह से जगाया. भरत जी start to shake him up now. Wake up, who are you? पर वे जागते ना थे, but हनुमान जी will not wake up. तब भरत जी का मुख मलिन हो गया. वे मन में बहुत दुखी हो और नेत्रों में जल भरकर ये वचन बोले. And when he would see that Hanumanji would not speak a word, he became so sorrowful. And he said, Arey, the providence has alienated me from Ram, has also inflicted this terrible suffering on me. If in thought, word, and deed I cherish sincere devotion to Ram's lotus feet, and if Ram Bhagwan is graciously inclined towards me, may this monkey, I don't know who he is, but may he be relieved of all his weariness and pain. And as soon as Hanumanji heard in his ears the name of Ram, he woke up from his sleep and he says, Jai Shri Ram. He is back in action again. He saw Bharat. Are Bharat? Bharat says, how do you know me? The devotee of Lord says, the devotee of Ram, I'm the devotee of Ram. He told me all the story about you. Bharat was very happy. Bharat ne kiya, mujhe maaf kar dijiye bhaiya. Please forgive me for shooting you down, Hanumanji. I'm sure, it's not written, but I'm sure in his mind was thinking, at the back of his mind says, this is it. I'm doing good for people, and they're shooting me down. But he didn't say that. But this is what happens in life. You're going to be shut down when you're doing God's work. Never stop. Never stop. As a matter of fact, if you are doing anything good for people, for society, or whatever, and you get shot at with a blunt arrow and you're in pain, don't stop doing it. Can I tell you my very old story that you probably know already? There was a scorpion drowning in a pond, in the seashore, in a river. And the man walking by saw the scorpion drowning. Man, kind-hearted, said, "Oh, what's this?" Man took his stick up and he dips the scorpion up. He put the scorpion, Jai Sri Ram, Jai Sri Ram, Jai Sri Ram. The scorpion, claw, about to sting him, he threw him in the water. I said, "Bhai, what's wrong with you? I'm trying to save you." Scorpion are drowning. Okay, let me help you. Pick up the scorpion, you put the stick on him. Jai Jai Ram, Jai Sri Ram. Scorpion come again, want to sting. Second time you did that to me, man. Trying to help you here. Okay, last time, come on. Behave yourself. Took the stick, dip up the scorpion again. Jai Jai Ram. Scorpion come again, throw it back. He said, "If you don't behave yourself this time, I'm going to leave you to drown." And a man was passing. I said, "Wait a minute. You really want the thing to sting you? Leave him alone. Why are you dipping him up every time? For the fourth time now you're going to dip him up." And the man said, "Listen, he's a scorpion. Let me not give it a gender. This is a scorpion, right? And its nature is to sting. The nature of a scorpion is to sting. It's not to be a pet scorpion, for you to put a tie on it and put a leash on it and carry it for a walk. Its nature is to sting. So the scorpion is going to sting me all the time. But my nature is to help. So if the scorpion cannot give up its bad habit of stinging, why should I give up my good habit of helping?" And the moral of that story is, if you can't give up your bad habit, why should I give up my good habit? Right? You can't give up your bad habit, why should I give up my good habit? And so Hanumanji's message is this here, this part of the story, where I've been, sent a blunt arrow by the brother of the one I'm trying to save. I'm taking the herbs, but don't give up on what you're doing. It's very important to understand that. right? People, this is a very simple thing in life. You're being distracted very, very, in so many ways by people, and you're discouraged many, many times in my younger days. I think I've grown a very thick skin over the past couple of years. But in my younger days, when we started, community work and all that, I asked myself, is it really worth it? To take the insults of people, to take the abuses they will give you. You go sometimes in their home and they'll tell you all kind of things. Is it really worth it? I got to go back to my young family, right? There's a time I wasn't married as yet. I'm like, is it worth this? I should be enjoying myself. I'm not even married. But, I believed in what we could accomplish as a community, right? I believed in what we could accomplish as a community. And that is why we have so many simple people around us. Simple, simple. And if we stick with that simplicity, we're going to get the places. We're going to stay here, but we still are going to do good. But stick to what you believe in, as long as what you believe in is good. Bharat says, wait a minute, but you have to go back. Why are we talking so long here? And what happened? Hanumanji says, yes, before daybreak I got to reach back. Well, I will send you straight to the presence of the Lord, Bharat says. I will send you straight to the presence of the Lord. And you know what Bharat did? Bharat took his arrow and he placed it on the bow. He says, Hanumanji, sit down. Sit down where? On the arrow. And what happened? He shot the arrow like a missile. And of course, Hanumanji collect back the mountain too. He can't leave the mountain. He shot the arrow like a missile. And that arrow was what took Hanumanji back before daybreak to Ramji Bhagwan with a mountain of medicines in the hand. While that was happening, Tulsidaji describes that Ram Bhagwan was grieving and grieving and grieving. It could have been me. He was doing the human thing. I told you 30 years I've been doing this, funerals after funerals after funerals. I was keeping a count the other day and I'm very embarrassed about it. It's getting close to 400 funerals. I'm not very proud of that, but it's experience, right? I've watched, people say, why it couldn't have been me? Why was it you? Right? People have all these kind of things that they say. When you're emotionally, shattered, you will say anything possible. You people have to understand this. That's fine. As long as you grieve, and when that time of grieving is done, whatever that time is, you come back to your state of your source. Ramji is saying, what will I tell your wife? Sons and riches, wives, house and kingfolk, they come and go in this world time after time. But no, not so a real brother, my brother, and the brother is unconscious. As a bird's utterly miserable without its twigs, or a serpent without its head's jewel, or a noble elephant without its tusk, so will be my life without you, my brother Ram, if fate preserves me alive. With what face should I return to Ayodhya, having lost a beloved brother for the sake of a woman? I'm fighting for my wife and you give your life. He's telling Lakshman this. Lakshman can't hear anything. Can't hear anything. Try telling people these things when they are alive. Try telling people these things. I've worked on something recently where I have 30 observations that I've made in the past 30 years. Only 30, can make more. And one of them is that observations I have is, why do we tell a dead person so much beautiful things when they're dead? To sit there for 2 hours and listen to praises of a dead man or woman is not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing. It's very hard to watch you say things of praises to a person who can't hear anything that you're saying. I think that is okay. It is good therapy for people. I am immune to that. But I think in addition to that, we must, the same thing that we write down in a barn here, come a Canada with $1 and then packet and all this kind of thing, write those things down and go to a person when they're alive and say, uncle, here is my observation of your life. You came to this country with $1 in your pocket. 'Cause I think all of us came to Canada with $1. It's very famous. You came to this country with $1 in your pocket. You work hard and you develop. You have children. You've done well in life. You've achieved this. You've retired. You are joyful. Tell a person that when they are alive. I'm telling you, it's going to make people feel good when they can hear you. It's going to make people feel good when they can hear you. Please don't stop doing the funeral thing. You should do that because it's healing. People find different ways to heal. Continue to do that. But try doing the things we do at a funeral home. Try doing it with people when they are alive and see how much more meaning it will add to their lives. You know what another thing is? When a person dies, we pay triple the price of a fare, a ticket, a plane ticket, to go see a lifeless body. Triple the price of a plane ticket. Quadruple sometimes emergency flight. Try getting an emergency flight to Guyana for a funeral. To go see a dead body when we couldn't pay a regular ticket price to go say hi or treat them when they're alive. I'm putting a lot of people into guilt trips sometimes. But it helps to realize. It helps to realize our role with somebody when they are alive. When they are alive, right? Gita and Ramayana is made to sing to people when they are alive. They can understand it, right? They can add meaning to their body and their life. Try doing those things when people are alive. So when they die, they will take those punyas with them. I'm telling you, everything that you see happen at a funeral home, you do that to people when they're alive. See how much more meaning your relationship will be. Praise people. Don't praise a dead man. Praise people. Tell people how genuine and loving and kind they were in your life. And I will forever do that. No matter who come here and they do what and they say, Pandit Meena man, thanks. And this a me man there and I will praise you. Because when am I going to praise you? When am I going to praise you? So many genuine people are among me here today. So many genuine people are around me here today, sitting in this temple, who have done so much for me personally and this temple. I'm going to always praise them because you know what? It's the right thing to do. Praise does not mean you're making people head big. You can't control their part of it, but you have to do what you must do. Ram Bhagwan is doing it here. What will he do? Lakshman unconscious in his lap, and he said, my brother, what face will I go back? I am fighting for my wife while you're here with me. And all this kind of thing. You took me to my hand and entrusted you, knowing all this kind of thing. And now what will happen? When I go back to answer, what answer shall I give? Why do you not rise and talk to me? And he was in deep sorrow, deep sorrow. And when he says, what am I going to do now? He felt so much distress. There came Hanumanji. Prabhu palap sunikan nikal bhaye banar nikar. Aaye gaye Hanuman jimi karuna mahubir ras. Just when you think that there's the last straw you pull, but you're not getting there, Hanumanji flies in. Flight come in? No, nobody received him or anything. And what was his baggage that he brought with him? Hanumanji came as a heroic strain in the midst of a pathetic team, and he brought life. Ram Bhagwan was pleased. Ram put on Lakshman and embraced Hanumanji and thanked him and praised him for his work. Hanumanji, of course, when you praise a human being, they get big. When you praise him, he gets small. He gets so small. Immensely pleased, Ram embraced Hanumanji, for the Lord is most grateful and supremely wise. Then the physician took the herbs. Now Tulsidas says there was one herb, or herb as we say in Guyana, that was required. What was the name of the herb? What? No, you. Mol Sanjeevani. That was the name of the herb. That's what Tulsidas wrote. But Valmiki ji tells us that there were 4 herbs that were required. One was Vishalyakarni. Vishalyakarni was the first herb. When you put that on the body, it expelled the arrow from the body, healing the wound and relieving the pain. That is one. The second herb, Savarnyakarni, counteract the discoloration caused by a wound. So the wound, the thing by God, discolor, I marked upon the man. Discoloration, burn, etc., and to restore the original color of the skin. Savarnyakarni. Then Samdhani, a herb to credit with the power of joining a fractured bone. That was the third herb. And the fourth one was Mool Sanjeevani, which is going to bring consciousness back from an unconscious person. I would think that would smell like Starbucks coffee, but maybe no. So 4 herbs he was asked to bring. Vishalyakarni, Savarnyakarni, Samadhani, and Sanjeevakarni. Please don't get it wrong. I'm a great fan of Starbucks coffee. I just think that you have to be a coffee drinker to appreciate that kind of stuff. So Tulsidaji says 1, but remember Tulsidaji is too lang. Valmiki ji gives you the real thing here, which is 4 herbs. And Hanumanji, Shushen applied all 4 herbs, and then Lakshman came back to consciousness. Bole Pauna Sutta Hanuman ki Jai, Siya Bhajarama Chandra ki. Now obviously when Ravan heard what happened, he was not very pleased, because the devil will only be successful or think they're succeeding in certain stages. But when you watch Bollywood movies in the 80s and the early 90s, the whole movie go wrong for the star boy and star girl. But at the end, they always, exactly. No matter who agree and who disagree, they immediately run away and fight happen and mother and father. At the end, everybody is happy. Ravan thought everything was going as planned for him, but that's not going to happen. This message this evening, my friends, that Hanumanji brought to us, I just thought we'd bring you a message of Hanumanji, because he himself is Shiva. And the message he's giving us this evening is all those things that we have talked about. When somebody needs help, give them help if you can. But don't be like Meghanad and somebody's injured and you want to kill them. Be like Hanuman and give them help. Grieve for those who, you all have grieving moment. I do as well. But when you have the Lord by your side, then there will be a period for everything to happen. And then, of course, we learn about Hanumanji Maharaj. Anything he did, any task he did, even serving Ram, his brother shot him down. It's fine. We all are going to be punctured or shot down or something in life, deflated. Now inflation is coming, we are going to be deflated a little bit. That's fine too. But never give up your good work. Remember the scorpion. He got a sting, let him sting. That's no problem. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing, which is the work of the Lord. When we started Shravan a few years ago, you will not believe the kind of remarks that was given to us. What you try to do. One people, nobody now come. Whole month you gotta nobody know you're still on by your own and all that kind of thing. You're trying to do this, you're trying to hang your hat, one. So what you gonna do? Let's do God's work. If you fail doing God's work, then you fail doing God's work. But if you fail doing the devil's work, it'll be shameful. We started, and we have never given up. We did not miss a night, and by Bholenath Bhagwan's blessings, we will finish our Sankalp. I may not be here every night, which I was for all the nights, but his work will go on and on and on. मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम. Now we want to dedicate this bhajan to the Ramjivan family. The Ramjivan family. By Dev Ramjivan from Long Island. He is a virtual sponsor this evening. And greetings, of course, dedicating it to his entire family, Dev Ramjivan, Leelavati Ramjivan, Vidya Ramjivan, and Lakshmi Ramjivan. Thank you, Bhaiji Dev, for always reaching out to us. So far, you're always supported us in so many ways. Bhagwan blessings to you and your entire family on this very auspicious occasion of Shravan Mass. I hope and pray that you all are keeping well. Although I may not dare to talk to you every day or so, I know my prayers are always with you and your family. Thank you always, and this bhajan is dedicated to your family and to all the loving devotees who are here this evening, who believes in our cause, and so many people online, surprisingly, but you know, we're here, and it's a pleasure to have all of you at all time. This song is very unique. Okay, which movie is this from? Mujhe apni sharan mein le lo Ram. Tulsidas. There you go, Tulsidas. Tulsidas, the movie is in black and white and it's free on YouTube. It's not an entertaining movie, so watch it when you got nothing to do, but very nice. Very, very nice movie. It shows you a man who, you know, thought his wife could bring him so much happiness, and his wife said, no, 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 Ramji can bring you much more happiness. Tulsidas. This song is unique because all three verses are sung in a different tune. It's one of the few bhajans you will find. All three verses are sung in a different tune. Mujhe apni sharan mein le lo Ram, le lo Ram. Mujhe apni sharan mein le lo Ram, mujhe apni sharan mein le lo Ram, le lo Ram. मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम. लोचन मन में जगे न हो तो, लोचन मन में जगे न हो तो, जुगल शरण में ले लो राम, ले लो राम. मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, ले लो राम. मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम. देखे जाल बिछाया, रच के माया नाच नचाया. जीवन देखे जाल बिछाया, रच के माया नाच नचाया. चिंता मेरी तभी रुकेगी, चिंता मेरी तभी रुकेगी, जब चिंतन में ले लो राम, ले लो राम. मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, ले लो राम. मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम. लाखों पापी तारे, मेरे बाजी बाजी हारे. तूने लाखों पापी तारे, मेरे बाजी बाजी हारे. मेरे पास न पुण्य की पूंजी, मेरे पास न पुण्य की पूंजी, पद पूजन में ले लो राम, ले लो राम. मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, राम है राम, राम है राम। दर दर भटकूं, घर घर अटकूं, कहाँ कहाँ अपना सर पटकूं। इस जीवन में मिलो न तुझको राम है राम। इस जीवन में मिलो न तुमको, मुझे मरण में ले लो राम, ले लो राम। मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो, ओ मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, ले लो राम। मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम। बोले पवन सुत हनुमान की, सिया भज रामचंद्र की जय। We have one more dedication this evening to Roshan Adam. Happy first birthday to our baby, Avni Lakshmi Adam. Love from mom, dad, and their two brothers. And I believe this is Joan and Alston's daughter. Wishing her a happy, happy birthday, Avni Lakshmi Adam. And from your parents, of course, a beautiful baby who was here a few weeks ago. Wish you a happy, happy birthday, and Hanumanji Bhagwan's blessings on you and your entire family as well. And they have sponsored a jasmine as well for Prabhu today. That is on the Shivji Lingam, glorifying the Lord in such a beautiful way. Chale Hanuman yah aaye, चले हनुमान यहाँ आए, श्री राम जी के धूत मचाए। चले हनुमान यहाँ आए, श्री राम जी के धूत मचाए। धूत मचाए से धूत मचाए, धूत मचाए से धूत मचाए। अरे सुनकर आए रघुराए, श्री राम जी के धूत मचाए। सुनकर आए रघुराए, श्री राम जी के धूत मचाए। चले हनुमान यहाँ आए, श्री राम जी के धूत मचाए।
चले हनुमान यहाँ आए, श्री राम जी के धूत मचाए।
गंगा जी आए, यमुना जी आए,
यमुना जी आए।
ओ गंगा जी आए, यमुना जी आए, गंगा जी आए, यमुना जी आए। अरे त्रिवेणी संगम आए, त्रिवेणी संगम आए, श्री राम जी के धूत मचाए। चले हनुमान यहाँ आए, श्री राम जी के
धूत मचाए।
जय श्री राम। भक्त जनों की धर पावन कर दे, भक्त जनों की धर पावन कर दे। आए आए रघुराए, आए आए रघुराए, श्री राम जी के धूत मचाए। चले हनुमान यहाँ आए, श्री राम जी के धूत मचाए। दास जनों की यही विनती, दास जनों की, दास जनों की यही विनती। चरण कमल बलिहारी, हे चरण कमल बलिहारी, श्री राम जी के धूत मचाए। चले हनुमान यहाँ आए, श्री राम जी के धूत मचाए। चले हनुमान यहाँ आए, श्री राम सुनकर आए रघुराए, श्री राम जी के दूत मचाए। सुनकर आए रघुराए, श्री राम जी के दूत मचाए। चले हनुमान यहाँ आए, श्री राम जी के दूत मचाए। चले हनुमान यहाँ आए, श्री राम जी के
दूत मचाए।
ओ श्री राम जी के दूत मचाए, श्री राम जी के दूत मचाए। श्री राम जी के बोलिए सियापति रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। Happy birthday to Avni and wish her all the best. We'll do prasad now. All those who have prasad to offer, flowers to offer on the altar and so, please come on up to do so. And while that is happening, we'll have some bhajans. Dr. Chabi, please feel free to sing this evening. Good to see you here as well in the month of Shravan. Everybody here as well, please come on up to do your prasad. Thank you.
Hara 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 Mahadeva. Hara 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 Mahadeva. Prabhu Tere Charana Kamala Raghuvira. Prabhu Tere Charana Kamala Balihari. प्रभु तेरे चरण कमला बलिहारी। कमला बलिहारी, कमला बलिहारी, कमला बलिहारी, कमला बलिहारी। प्रभु तेरे चरण कमला बलिहारी। प्रभु तेरे चरण कमला बलिहारी। पितु माता भिक्षा विदाता। तुम पितु माता भिक्षा विदाता। सब जीवन आहे तकारा। सब जीवन नहीं है तकारा। प्रभु तेरे चरण कमला बलिहारी। प्रभु तेरे चरण कमला बलिहारी। कमला बलिहारी, कमला बलिहारी, कमला बलिहारी, कमला बलिहारी। प्रभु तेरे चरण कमला अजर जबारी रजना सारी। अजर बारी रजना सारी। सब जग पालनहार। सब जग पालनहार। प्रभु तेरे चरण कमला बलिहारी। प्रभु तेरे चरण कमला बलिहारी। कमला बलिहारी, गतगतगामि अन्तरयामि गतगतगामि आतरयामि सकला भवनावन हरि सकला भवना आदनधारी प्रभु तेरे चरण कमल बलिहारी प्रभु तेरे चरण कमल बलिहारी कमल बलिहारी कमल बलिहारी कमल बलिहारी कमल बलिहारी प्रभु तेरे चरण कमल बलिहारी ब्राह्मणांदा सब सुखकांदा ब्राह्मणांदा सब सुखकांदा मेरी सुनो पुकार मेरी सुनो पुकार प्रभु तेरे चरण कमल बिहारी प्रभु तेरे चरण कमल बलिहारी कमल बलिहारी कमल बलिहारी कमल बलिहारी कमल बलिहारी प्रभु तेरे चरण कमल बलिहारी प्रभु तेरे चरण कमल बलिहारी उमापति महादेव की जय।
Umapati Mahadeva ki. Just want to remind everybody, tomorrow we're here again. Well, we're here morning, but evening is our service, main service. Tomorrow is Tej. Tomorrow is Tej, and the color for Tej is green, 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 and green. Tomorrow the auditorium will be decked up with green, sort of like a Krishna theme, but it's Tej. In India, it's all green in Vrindavan, in many places. So if you're coming, bring out your green, your most favorite outspoken green. Tomorrow is the day for that. And please remember Monday. Monday is our Ekadash Rudra Havan. And this will be starting during the day. I think we have, do we have 11 sponsors, Vin? We have 11, right? I don't know what time they'll come, but the puja starts from 2 o'clock. And how I'm promoting it is, this is not a case where you get to sit down, 11 shrotas and you get kalash and all that. The 11 kalash will be one place here set up. And at different point in the chanting of the Ekadash Rudram, if you're here, you can sit down. If you come 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you may catch the last one. But it will not be a time when you get to do individual Ganesh Puja, Varun Puja, no. So while the Rudram is happening, when we reach a certain stage, we will bathe the lingam. Everybody will be invited to bathe. Then you come back and sit down. We finish the chanting. Then they start the next one. So it's very powerful chanting. There isn't singing happening. There isn't decor happening. There is just us bathing the lingam and do a small dressing, chandan, flowers, and so for 11 times. At the end of it, in the evening, when everybody do them abhishekam and so that came in, then we will take the 11 kalash and bathe the lingam. And then we have the 11 sponsors, they will bathe the lingam. And then after that, we will have the decor. The decor that evening is, well, Mondays, you know what happened. We were firing it up a little bit. It's amazing that this Monday will be our third Monday in Shravan. And then the following week is the last Monday. So it's gone by so fast. But please come on out. It's a holiday, but if you're not going anywhere, please be here. The shrotas still have to bring prasad, or whoever coming. All you're bringing is prasad. And everybody else bring flowers and whatever, because it's a lot of archana and so you do. But the shrotas bring prasad and fruits, and prasad and flowers, extra flowers we have for the pujas. That's happening on Monday. And then every night we're here. Come on out and be with us. If anyone wants to sponsor an evening on an occasion or a non-occasion, please let us know as well. Reach out to us. Right? Thank you so much. Let's all stand for Aarti. Yani kani cha papani janmantar kritani cha tani sarvani nashyantu pradakshana pade pade.
Om Jai Shiva Omkara Swami Hare Shiva Omkara Jai Shiva Omkara Swami Hare Shiva Omkara Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva Brahma Vishnu Sada Shiva Adhidangi Dhara Om Jai Shiva Omkara Om Hare 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 Mahadev Ekanan Chaturanan Panchanan Raje Swami Panchanan Raje Hansasan Garudasan Hansasan Garudasan Vrishvahan Saje Om Jai Shiva Omkara Om Hare 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 Mahadev Do bhuj char chatur bhuj das bhuj te sohe Swami das bhuj te sohe Tero roop nirakta
गौरम करुणावतारम संसार सारम भुजगेन्द्रहारम सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। बोले गणपति भगवान की, पवन सुत हनुमान की, गुरु महाराज की, नवग्रह भगवान की, रामचंद्र भगवान की, लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की, राधा कृष्ण भगवान की, गंगा मैया की, यमुना मैया की, सूर्य नारायण स्वामी की, सत्यनारायण स्वामी की, सरस्वती माता की, महालक्ष्मी माता की, नवदुर्गा माता की। जयकारा शेर वालिदा बोल साचे दरबार की। नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव। शंभो सत्य सनातन धर्म की। सबको ये जय जय सीता। Please stay for Aarti Prasad. I want to thank all those who brought rot this evening, who took their time to make rot and bring it. Please, we will give you prasad as rot this evening. I want to thank Auntie Kamal and Mataji Savitri ji for their tulsi plants. They're so beautiful, green and healthy, to bring it to decor the Lord this evening, which is very, very nice. Thank you very much. And thanks to all of you. See you tomorrow.